I'm Jake from Infinity Innovations, and I want to tell you about these amazing new products we've got. I want to tell you about the HeatBoost radiators. These radiators seem to cover an absolute wealth of installation requirements. Firstly, they're actually highly efficient even if the water flow temperatures are only 35 degrees. As it goes up through the scale, maybe 45 degrees where heat pumps are working, tremendously efficient. We're getting huge amounts of heat out of them. All the data is on the website, of course, for all of this. And then we move up to areas like 55 degrees for new build installations, where at the moment installers are having to find lots and lots of wall space for great big radiators. Well, actually these fit brilliantly in rooms, and they're absolutely tiny by comparison, and they'll give huge amounts of heat out when you're running a system at 55 degrees. And then we go up to the normal systems that lots of people live with, combi boilers, gas boilers, and that's where the heat output is just absolutely phenomenal from these radiators. Why is the output so phenomenal? Well, they work slightly different to conventional radiators, and there's lots of benefits to that. So first of all, we have a great big fan unit that runs across the bottom. So the way they work is the minute they detect a water flow coming through the system of about 24 degrees, the fan will kick in, and immediately it's starting to billow out heat from the top of the unit here. So it just absolutely pumps heat coming out through the system. Okay, so of course, you can just benefit from that huge amount of heat, or if you wish to, you can just turn your boiler down and save energy that way. Fantastic. So let's talk about the heat output of these units. It's really eye-watering. So this is the baby unit, and this unit here with a heat output, with a water flow input of 55 degrees, will give a heat output of 3.1 kilowatts. That's 10,500 BTUs. So you can look at data sheets and compare what that means. It's an absolutely tremendous amount of heat that's coming out of this particular unit. We then have the bigger version, which is 40 centimeters longer, so only that much longer. That gives double the output. So we're now at 6.3 kilowatts of heat out of that unit with only 55 degree water coming through. That's the equivalent of about 22,000 BTUs. It's absolutely phenomenal. So one or two things happens when you install these units in a property. First of all, they will deliver huge amounts of heat very, very quickly. And you can simply keep a door shut and the room will get up to temperature. Once the room is at temperature, it'll simply click off because we have an inbuilt stat in the unit. So you can preset what temperature you want that room to, or as many people are doing, just open a few doors and you let that amazing amount of heat waft out and go throughout the property. So the benefits of these just keep on coming. It's a low surface temperature unit, which means it's really handy if you're fitting it in schools or anywhere where kids might be anywhere near that front surface or anything along those lines. So low surface temperature, which is a real advantage with the unit. The reason for that is we don't want any of the heat coming out of there. It all gets blown up and out of the unit, straight up and out the top. Okay, has variable fan speed, which allows a slight modulation in the noise, and there is a little bit of noise, but it's a really small amount, and you can adjust that depending on which setting you want the fan speeds to work on. The units do need a bit of electricity, so that's either a fuse spur or it can be on a plug socket and you can plug them in directly somewhere. They have huge advantages in terms of the lightweight version of each unit. So this unit here, for example, only weighs 17 kilos, and the biggest unit is around about 21 kilos. So compared to the huge radiators that are steel, these are incredibly lightweight and therefore very simple to install. It's a one-man installation. There's no problem whatsoever with that. So overall, what we're talking about is an absolutely extraordinarily efficient piece of kit. The bigger units, if you compare that to a K1 radiator, that's the slightly similar radiators. So a massive K1 radiator, you're looking at sometimes 7 times the heat output by putting one of these in. It's not using any more energy, any more gas or any more flow than any standard radiator. But because it only has a tiny amount of water in it, this unit only has 100 millilitres of water in it. and a large normal radiator will have maybe 7 or 8 litres of water in it. So you're reducing how much water you're heating in the system, and you're reducing how much water it takes to get this up to temperature. So where a normal steel radiator will gradually, you'll feel a bit of heat, and then after 5-10 minutes it'll start moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. This immediately clicks on when the water flowing through it just gets to 24 degrees. So the response time is absolutely amazing. So the HeatBoost radiators have had 100% success rate so far with installations. They've gone in working men's clubs, they've gone in domestic properties, they've gone in every single type of application we can imagine. Heat pumps, they've gone in domestic properties on microbore pipe fittings. And the beauty of this product, maybe not with the microbore, but certainly when it's going in on standard sized pipe work, is these are heat pump ready. You're ready for putting a low temperature heating system in. So maybe you'll be putting a heat pump in the future. These are good to go with a heat pump. So for a very short stepping stone, you're getting a huge amount of heat out of these products. There we go. That's as many of the amazing points I could think of in one video to tell you. There are lots more, but have a look at the website if you want to find out tons more information.